Good evening. Welcome to the annual Flaming Pine Camp members meeting, which is virtual again this year. The meeting this year will consist of a message from the board and an opportunity to vote online for board members. I'm Bruce Goodwin, president of the Flaming Pine Youth Camp Board. On behalf of the board, I wanted to give you a brief summary of the main events in 2021. First of all, in terms of the use of the new dining hall, the construction of the new dining hall was completed in late fall of 2020. There were a number of improvements with the dining hall: a beautiful new floor, new bathrooms, new walls behind the wash basins in the kitchen, a new dishwasher, a new furnace, upgraded plumbing, and a steel roof on both the dining hall portion and the two-story portion of the building. And it all functioned really well this last summer. In terms of summer camp sessions, the sessions went really well. Our overall camp attendance was down about 20% from previous years, which we expected because of COVID, and was also similar to another camp that I attended in another state. So not anything particularly unusual about lower attendance this year at camps. There were no COVID infections that we are aware of. There was one false positive COVID test at the last camp session. The enthusiasm was high, and that's one thing I really wanted to highlight among campers and parents. The camps at Flaming Pine, and also another one I attended in another state, and people were just so excited to be back at camp. It was a great thing to see, and was just really tangible, and you could just see how grateful people were to be back together again. And so that was huge. In terms of camp finances, after all the construction costs on the dining hall, including improvements that were not paid for by insurance, the camp's liquid assets, which includes checking, savings, and investments, were the same, and listen to this part, in the spring of 2021, this past spring, as before the construction began in the spring of 2020. So what that means is that with all the improvements and everything that was done, then it was almost like, well, it was like we're just even in terms of liquid assets, which is just tremendous because there was no debt incurred and no loans were needed for all this. God provided through the insurance and also for the generous donations of members. So really, I'm just really grateful for that, and I just think that's so tremendous. Also, we've made some attempts in terms of trying to get word out about the camp to people that are unfamiliar with the camp, and so some new brochures have been made and have been produced, and they can be used. You could use those to introduce people. They're kind of a generic brochure, but kind of highlights some of the wonderful things about camp, and we could send you a PDF, and you could print it out yourself and just let the camp caretakers know about that. And speaking of the caretakers, I just wanted to highlight that Julie and Randy Peeney just continue to be a wonderful, wonderful service to the camp with their hard work and enthusiasm. We're super blessed to have them, and the whole board is just thrilled and grateful to God that we were able to get some really good caretakers to serve the camp. I wanted to reaffirm the mission of the camp, and that is to lift up Jesus in such a way that youth and families are drawn to him and want to follow him in every aspect of their lives for their whole life. We're tremendously grateful again to God for his mercies this year. He's provided for the mission of the camp beyond what we could have imagined or dreamed for. We hope we'll all be able to be together soon this next summer and enjoy fellowship in Christ together again. Good evening.